Hello, everybody. My name is Wingee Sampaio, and I'm part of the Cartier Women Initiative. Welcome today to our Ask Me Anything session. We're joined here today with also Yoshi Tabuchi, who's our Cartier Women Initiative jury member for East Asia. Yoshi is an impact investing advisor and also a co-lead at Tokyo Zebra Unite. Hello, Yoshi. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here.
So just a quick rundown of our schedule for today. I will first give a short presentation about the Cartier Women Initiative and a bit about our program in terms of its eligibility criteria as well as its selection criteria. Thereafter, I will move on to a conversation with Yoshi where he will share with us his experience as part of being the jury of the East Asia region for the Cartier Women Initiative. And then for the last half hour of the conversation, we will open it up for questions and answer with the audience. And so please feel free at that time to enter any questions you might have into the Q&A chat box on Zoom. Before we get started today, perhaps many of you can share with us who's in the audience. Maybe start with sharing with us your name, where you're from, and maybe the UN SDG goal that you're the most passionate about. So feel free to share that with us in the comment box so we can tell a bit about who's in the audience. So the vision of the Cartier Women Initiative is a world in which every woman entrepreneur driving change can achieve her full potential. Our program has a series of eligibility criteria, and we are a woman impact entrepreneurship program that has been running globally for about 14 years. We have a set of regional awards, and so for each region around the world, and so today specifically, we're more focused on the East Asia region with entrepreneurs from East Asia. We have a set of what we call regional award eligibility criteria. To be eligible for the program, you have to be running a for-profit business, have been generating revenue for at least 1 year. You have raised less than 2 million in dilutive funding. So this is from external investor in terms of equity. You have been in operations for about 1 to 5 years. Your business was specifically created to meet one of the UN SDG goals. You have a sufficient level of English proficiency because the program is being run in English. You're 18 years old and above, and you have some time commitment for the next year to participate and take advantage of the resources in the program. So the selection criteria for the regional awards, there's 7 of them. And so as we review your application, we will be looking at these 7 different criteria. The first is around market analysis and fit. For this first criteria, we're taking a look at the market that your business is operating in and what is the size of that market and how you have created product market fit. Rather, your product and services fit what the need of the market is and what the pain point of the customers is. Second is a sustainable business and financial model. Here, we're looking for businesses that have been built with a business model that specifically is able to capture the inefficient in the market, as well as have built a solid financial model that includes projections that forecast what you expect to be occurring in your business. This is very important of a criteria for us because we want to support businesses that are leveraging business as a force for good. And in order for you to create the impact you want to see in the world, you have to have a sustainable business. The third criteria is leadership team and character of the founder. This is important because in the early stages of business, you'll be working in a small team with others. And we want to make sure that you have built a team that is diversified in skill set and complementary to each other. We also want to make sure that the character of the founder is reflective of the values of the Cartier Women Initiative and also of Cartier. Fourth is your strategy and execution. And this is important to us because we want to make sure that you have created a plan of how you plan to execute upon the vision that you see as part of your business. The fifth is the embedded nature of the positive social and environmental impact. Here, given that our initiative is focus on leveraging business as a force for good, and we're looking for businesses that are solving one of the UN SDG problems. We want to make sure that you have created um, a business in which the impact of the business is it's positive and it's embedded as part of the business model. Six is the quality of submission. And so we want to make sure that in your application process and also subsequently in the following due diligence, that the content you're providing us in the initiative and to our various due diligence work is of high quality. And last but not least is the commitment to the vision of the Cartier Women Initiative. Our vision, again, is to support other women impact entrepreneurs to realize their full potential. And so, in many ways, as part of our program, we're looking for women entrepreneurs who are also hoping to support other women entrepreneurs. Next, I'm going to share with you a bit about the eligibility criteria of the Science and Technology Pioneer Award. Unlike the previous categories of awards, which are 7 regional awards, the Science and Technology Pioneer Award is a separate category, and it's our 8th category, and it's the first time we are running this award program this year. For this program, for this year, it is a global program, and it's focused on women entrepreneurs who are leveraging business as a force for good, but specifically creating new grounds in the technological and scientific area. So the eligibility criteria includes how technological and scientific innovation, so something that is really pioneering and something that's proprietary. Um, you have to be running a for-profit business also. And then we also look at the early stage of your business. And so here we require a minimum technology readiness level 4. And the technology readiness level is actually a gradient that is offered by NASA, and it's been in existence since the 80s. And here it ranges from 1 to 9 in terms of technology readiness level. And readiness level number 4 means that your product and services has been prototyped at least in the lab. Next is that your business is meeting one of the UN SDG goals. You're English proficient, so you can absorb the content that's being offered in the program. You're 18 years old and above, and you have some time commitment that you can devote to capitalize on the resources of the program. The selection criteria for the Technology and Science Award, it's a little bit different than the regional awards, and mainly the difference is on the first 3 categories. So the number 1 is technological innovation, because this category focuses on a lot of science and technology companies that are in what is known as the deep tech or hard tech space. The level of innovation is important for us, especially in this award category. We are essentially looking for women entrepreneurs who are pioneering long years of research and development, and leveraging that science and technology towards a good cause. Second is market and access strategy. Given that many of these businesses have long cycle of commercialization and business development, we realize that in the early stage of their business, they may not already have a product market fit. And so we have amended our second selection criteria to be more around how the entrepreneur have thought about the overall market, as well as how to access that market. And third is business model sustainability and a validated development plan. And again, this criteria is different than the regional award, mainly because, again, most businesses in this category may be pre-revenue, and as a result, then they may not already have a financial sustainable model, and they have only basically created a validated development plan. So they would have a business model that they have designed that's hopefully sustainable, and then they have validated a development plan in which they will be executing. The other criteria, 4, 5, 6, and 7, are the same as the regional awards. So you may ask, why apply for the Cartier Women Initiative program? So the program's goal is to shine a light on women impact entrepreneurs by providing financial, social, and human capital support. And so in the first category is financial support. Each year we are providing 100,000 in grant to 8 laureate, 1 from each of the categories, and 30,000 in grant to the other 2 runner-up finalists. Second is around social capital. This is especially important for women entrepreneurs to gain some visibility for the social impact and environmental impact of their work, have access to a community of experts, peers, supporters, and also investors that can help them grow their business. And last but not least is, of course, the ongoing development of each other's business via peer group mentoring. We also provide a series of human capital support, and this ranges across four main areas. One is around a strategic financial mindset. Second is around strategy mentoring. Third is around speaking to inspire. And fourth is about scaling social impact. And so we provide a fairly comprehensive training program in what we believe is important in entrepreneur leadership in impact-driven businesses. The four pillars of the Cartier Women Initiative includes the awards, which is what we have gone through today, the fellowship, which is where all the human capital supports come in, the community, which includes the group of people who are volunteering to commit their time to support women impact entrepreneurs, and last but not least, thought leadership around the impact of women entrepreneurs. So what should you expect if you apply to the program? Well, currently we're in the call for application phase, and that will end on July 31st. And here we hope that many of you who are on this call today will have a chance to apply to our program. In the month of August and September, we'll select 80 pre-selected candidates, so 10 per category. Thereafter, in the month of November and December, we will select 24 fellows to admit into our program, so 3 per category. And last but not least, in January to February, we'll onboard the fellow into our program and start the fellowship process. The fellowship process lasts approximately from February to November. And then in the month of April to May is where we'll select the 8 laureate of each category. We culminate our work around an award ceremony that's usually in the month of May. And for the next edition, it'll be on May 26th in Boston. And in this event, we will be awarding each of the fellows with the work that they have been doing, along with the announcement of who the laureates are. And in this event, we will also have a series of thought leadership workshops. So I hope all of you would be interested in learning more about our program and join our next cohort. And again, the application and detailed information about the Cartier Women Initiative is at cartierwomeninitiative.com. Please apply before July 31st, and we definitely recommend applying a few days before the last day of the application process. So with that, I'm going to move on to the second segment of our talk today, which is our Q&A session with Yoshi. Yoshi, how are you doing today?
Good.
So perhaps, so maybe you can start out with sharing with us a bit about yourself and your work as an impact investor in Japan.
Sure. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Yoshi Tabuchi. I'm based in Tokyo, Japan. I've been in the impact investing sector for a while, 7 or 8 years probably. Mainly my work includes 2 types of work. One is working with impact investors like foundations, other type of investors. And then also I work with startups directly as well. And what I do is with this foundation, I also, of course, I do investment work, mostly in startup companies. And my work actually, most of my part consists of the work after we do the investment. So I work a lot with management teams, making a strategy, even making a vision. And then also I cover a lot of operational part as well. The second part, the direct work with the startups, I basically do the same thing, but after investment. So I work a lot with management teams, as well as employees, the teams. Part of my work is helping or supporting growing a team in the company. I do that for social entrepreneurs. And the other work I do is I'm also the head of the organization called Tokyo Zebras Unite. Zebras Unite is a worldwide movement, the headquarters in the US. It's launched by the co-founders in the US, basically having a question against the ecosystem between venture capital and the unicorn companies in startup world. The zebras, the concept of zebra is basically we are contributing to other a lot of stakeholders other than not only the shareholders, and also we see a lot long-term sustainability of the company. So it's not the game of winner takes all, but the game is more about all the stakeholders, and then how to sustain the company itself for a long time. So that's the work I do.
Great. And Yoshi, is most of the companies that you're working with in terms of early stage company startups, are they based in Japan or are they based globally? Tell us a bit about that. Today in our audience, it looks like we have many who are from different parts of the world, actually.
So the current work I do is mostly within Japan. I
Okay.
sometimes help companies outside of Japan as well. And I used to be based in Southeast Asia, so I'm a bit familiar with the Southeast Asian market as well. But most of my work right now is based in Japan.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, we definitely have a few folks from India and it looks like also from Singapore. So very nice. All
But
right.
I'm always open to any possibility. So
Yes, you may be investing in those regions too.
yeah.
I see. So what is your experience with the Cartier Women Initiative? I mean, you have joined us last year. Tell us a bit about any highlights you might have or lowlights, I suppose, about the journey.
Highlights.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of highlights actually. Especially this year, I think there's a lot of unexpected um, incidents, right? Like including
Yeah.
COVID-19. So that we had to shift everything to Zoom online base.
Yeah.
But I think the best part of one of the best parts of this Culture Woman initiative is about the community. I think it's a startup. It's in a way it's sort of startup accelerator program, but I think the biggest difference from other programs is you guys are making this community. It's also worldwide. One of the highlights I would say is actually it's kind of apart from the program itself, but the webinar programs that you guys are offering right after COVID-19 was happening. This webinar was open for most of the people in the Cartier Women Initiative community, including past attendees, past fellows, current fellows, juries, and coaches, I think. That was a kind of highlight for me. Actually, I was connected to one of the past fellows, and then I still keep conversation with her, the entrepreneur from the US. But the making this community win the program is something you offer differently from other programs, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I think our community now, it's up to about 300 woman impact entrepreneurs. So
Ooh.
incredible change makers in all corners of the world. They're keeping Meng very busy, who's our community development manager and on this call at the moment, technically moderating. So it's fantastic. So, what kind? So as part of the jury, you were part of our jury process, and earlier I spoke about our selection criterias. I think by the time the application gets to the jury, they have all passed eligibility criterias. So
Yeah.
maybe give us a bit about your views on the selection criterias. Like, what are the most important things you look for? I mean, I've described them high level on the seven of them, but maybe, yeah, give us your take on some of their the criterias.
Mm. Um, so I think, what is it? Well, of course, all of the criteria is important, right? Um, especially when you are making a business, when you are making a business plan for your growth. Um, scalability is important, market fit is important, everything is important. But I think what you have to, as an entrepreneur or as a social entrepreneur applying for this program, what you have to care, first of all, is about the impact, right? So the embedded positive social impact was, I think, one of the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is this is a very important criteria. And when you think about it, it's not about how to say, it's not about just you just making a word, bettering the society, bettering your environment. But
Mm-hmm.
we, as a jury, we see if you are really thinking about the beneficiaries and what your business is making, what kind of impact your business is making for these beneficiaries. I think that's one of the, I would say, most important criteria among those.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I think so too. I think ultimately how embedded the impact is within the business model is really a very critical component. And I suppose on a high level basis, if we look at the selection criteria, we have also designed it to be about 60% of it focus on business components, and then 40% of it focus on the role model. So I always think about it as 60% business model and then 40% role model. How the entrepreneur will be a role model for other entrepreneurs in the ecosystem in creating change and leveraging business as a force for good. um,
Yeah. Well, one
yeah.
thing I would add is it's the difficulties, I think, to the difficulty is to have both part, right?
Yeah.
Your impact. But if you only are making an impact, but not you're not enough enough profitable to
Hmm.
sustain yourself, then you can't even make an impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the difficult part is that you have to have both impact side and the business side.
Yeah. Yes.